How's it going, guys? Panther Films here. Today we're going to be reacting to episode 7 of Skeleton Crew. This episode is titled, We're Gonna Be in So Much Trouble. And of course, it's the penultimate episode of the season. Yeah, last episode we had a decent one for the most part. I did think, it was kind of lacking in terms of, big progression with the story. But it did just feel like a conclusion to the Scorvage Mountain stuff. Right, we saw the kids, they went down a drain and a pipe, which, weird that happened, you had no idea where that would have gone, and it's just strange that it just led down a pipe into the garbage area. But, we saw KB, some development for KB, and we learned that she was in an accident, which obviously is the reason she has her orgs. But they were corroding, and to me, I don't think the corroding shit makes a lot of sense, but I'll let it slide. So we had some nice scenes there with KB and Wim. Fern and Neil climbed up the mountain, and they managed to get onto some, what would you call them? Garbage collectors, I guess? Ships. They took the main ship, and Fern and Neil, maneuvered it so they could pick up Wim and KB, who were dealing with a giant crab. And a lot of smaller crabs that were just saying, follow, follow. On Jod's side of the story, we had him get taken captive by the pirates. Same thing with Smee. Just kind of annoying because he got the lightsaber at the end of episode 5 and we were thinking shit's about to go down. And then he loses it instantly. So it was just well, what was the point? So hopefully he gets it back this episode, we'll see. But he's in, captivity, and he's managed to convince the pirates to go pursue Att Attin, because he's got the coordinates. And so do the kids, they've got the coordinates too, and they've got the ship back, and they used the whole demolition, sequencer or something like that, and they destroyed the hull, so they'd escaped this, giant, fucking incinerator thing, and the ship kind of transformed into a nice-looking ship, all things considered. That's how last episode ended, and now I guess we're going to Att Attin. There's nothing else we need to do, unless it's the wrong planet, but then that'd kind of get a bit annoying. And we've also got the parents there, planning stuff too. So we'll see what's going on with them. Hopefully, maybe they won't even be in this episode, I don't know. Yeah, that basically sums it up. So let's stop dilly-dallying around with this shitty intro, and get right into the fucking episode.
You're going for a little ride.
Jesus. The fucking music. I do now know what the ship looks like. It looks like the guy from Andor. It looks like his ship.
What's the plan?
Who's the supervisor? What if it's Renard? He's not actually dead, he just landed his ship. Or crashed his ship and then... Because there's a reason, they hid his face in the hologram and shit. But then it's if they hid his face, well, it has to be someone we know already, right? Because it's if we see the supervisor and it's someone we don't recognise, it's well, why would that matter?
Still need that other part.
They won't need it though, they've got the coordinates back anyway.
I have a bet.
Attention, you have an unauthorized communication device. Step away or you will be stopped.
They're droids, dude. Well, Clone Wars.
Set down the communicator or you will be stopped.
Yep.
Set down the communicator or you will...
But they know where she is because they can sense... They know where the communicator is, right? Probably on the same fucking frequency or some shit. She's gonna get blasted. Or it's gonna get shot down. Because they don't need that signal, right? That signal's not going to help. They've already got the coordinates. But I guess you need the parents to do something, right? See, they're already in hyperspace. They're already on the way.
Told you I'd get us home. What's wrong?
Nothing.
He's still moping about the adventure being over.
Once we get back, then everything goes back to the way it was.
I still have to take assessment.
It was a really fun adventure. Half the time I was about to die.
It
It'll be fine. You'll see.
won't be. Because the pirates are going to be there now. Yep. And I think they got there first, didn't they?
It's a toxic maelstrom. This Att Attin of yours don't look like a treasure planet to me.
Well, doesn't it have to? It's a barrier. There's a barrier around it.
Repair the airlock.
How stupid are you, Brutus?
Careful.
It's a trick, you fools.
There's a barrier.
Att Attin's been hidden for hundreds of years. You expect it to be just floating in the open.
More fables.
Go down. Check it out.
According to Captain Renard, the real treasure planet be hidden inside an endless storm.
It's hidden. Inside.
But there isn't a storm around the planet, right? It's a barrier.
It's hidden inside. I'll bet my life on it. You give me a fighter, I'll fly him myself.
I'll go with you. I'll take that bet, but you're not going anywhere.
Oh.
My crew will fly into the storm. Send out a volunteer.
Yeah, but you can't send a signal outside the planet, right? So they won't be able to communicate with him. The signal's going to go down as soon as he goes through the barrier. Like what?
Perfectly safe.
Oh.
Maybe we should send in another.
Prepare to dump the trash.
33!
Airlock him.
No, you kill me and you're throwing away the greatest treasure the galaxy's ever
Release the
known. Let me
airlock
out!
or you lot will be joining him.
No.
Wait! Something unsent us, Captain.
Huh?
A ship out of hyperspace.
The kids.
Aye, looks much different without its armor.
I've got it!
That's good.
Ship's the key. That's how we get to Att Attin.
Is it the armor that protected the ship before? Also, can they not see the fucking big ass ship?
Looks like.
Tractor beam. It's over.
This is your last life symbol.
Why doesn't he just use the fucking force?
Crew loves me.
The crew loves plunder.
Nah, the crew loves me.
Come out unarmed, or we're coming in.
I mean, what are they going to do? Throw the ball at him.
Bunch of cowards. All right.
The ball. Oh, that works.
Release the tractor beam and we'll let him go.
No. Ah, that's a shame. I kind of like Brutus. God damn it.
Backstabbing mutineer. And you want to follow him?
Well, you just did the same thing, but...
Seize the vessel. You'll find 4 scared children on board. Hold them hostage. Prepare the frigate to take Att Attin.
He must have... I feel like he was a Jedi, right? He had to have been.
Find out whatever mechanism
Oh.
allows this ship.
He's got his old shit back.
What's this? On the com.
An incoming transmission.
We're sending out this message on a communication buoy, hoping you'll hear it. KB, my sweet girl, don't give up.
Was he the one that got his eyes shut out? Because it looked like he had like a eye patch on.
He got a shiny new data, but he said all he wanted was his big brother. Find a Republic emissary.
That's an official who knows the secret location of Att Attin. The barrier can be very dangerous.
So how did they get out of the barrier though? Like that was easy. But getting back in's hard.
I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Please come home.
For fuck's sake, when... I guess that kind of works. Not really.
We know that you're a liar, and this is our ship because we found it first.
Well, now it's mine.
Actually, since you're currently captain of the frigate, this vessel remains unattested. A captain can lay claim to one vessel.
I claim this ship. I am the captain of this ship, and you all take orders from me.
Smee's trying to make up new rules, right?
I'm Clancy.
What?
Claim it for kids only. 33, get these pirates off our ship.
Would he listen to that?
I'm afraid it doesn't work like that.
Oh! Jesus.
Aye, will it be close enough?
That works. So I guess Jod is just straight up the villain now. I still want to know his backstory though. There has to be more to it. Where's Jod? Did he get on board?
Send some fighters after it. That ship is the key.
So what's on that ship that keeps it... What is that? Well, them fighters are just going to get destroyed instantly. Like, what? I think the barrier's going to go down. Either this episode or next episode. Yep.
Would appear the defensive grid is still active.
No shit.
I'm stealing one of the Mint's old ships so we can fly it safely back through.
So when did Venard go missing then? Because if this planet has been gone for over hundreds of years, like... It deactivated. Oh shit. Wait, what the fuck? That's... What? That's fucking wild. The barrier's that big.
My mom totally lied on that call. We're gonna be in so much trouble. I don't even care anymore.
Name of the episode. Oh,
Back again, are we?
he's still got the lightsaber, doesn't he?
Kids, I'll undo this.
33!
You kidding me, dude? He's dead.
Get on the ground!
No, no. Oh, okay, I thought he was going to step on it. You can repair him. He'll be alright. Droids never die. Not really.
This is Captain Silvo. I'm on board the Onyx. Cinder, we made it through. Come in. Damn it. Hello.
Barrier's jamming.
Yeah, I know.
Have to deactivate the barrier.
Shut
Up. Unending. Jabba, jabba, jabba. Honestly.
Jabba the Hutt.
Leave him alone!
All of you. Not just him. All of you. You're the worst one. What? What? What exactly are you going to do? Weak, sheltered, spoiled children.
I think the Jedi fucked him up. Like, they taught him the ways of being a Jedi, like abandoning everything, like his feelings and all that shit. And then the fall happened, and then he had no one. So then he just turned into this. Like, I was thinking he could be an Inquisitor, but, like, it doesn't really make sense with how he's been. Anakin? Is that you?
Makes it very easy for me to know who to carve up. Each one. Piece by piece.
I can't tell if he's good with a lightsaber or not. He's just doing this. I mean, he knows how it works. Who's the supervisor?
The problem is, you droids don't listen.
We are always available for standby.
Such an interesting droid design.
This is the supervisor speaking. An emissary is...
That could be Venard.
Is that the ship?
Because he sounds older, right? And Venard would be old. What the fuck? Damn, they locked the ship. So how did Venard get around the autopilot shit? Maybe it wasn't in place when he got here?
And these are 4 waifs I found along the way.
Planet-wide protocol requires that any visiting emissary proceed directly to the Mint to begin offload procedure.
The Mint.
I need to speak to my other ship. Comms have been jammed.
We will proceed to the Mint.
Where?
Where's it going? I mean, to the Mint, obviously, but, like, where's that? I guess under. They're going to say he's not an emissary. They're not going to say anything? I guess they won't. Whoa. What is that?
About my other ship. Perhaps it would be best if I contacted them.
You must speak with the supervisor about the barrier emissary.
The supervisor, yes.
Above the barrier.
We'll go and fetch him.
What was that? Their security measures aren't that great, all things considered. They just automatically believe he's an emissary. No credentials or anything like that. I guess it's because it's only an emissary ship can make it through or whatever, but still. How much is there? A lot, because you can see it glowing.
1,139.
Jesus. Our green screen's a bit rough, but it is what it is. Like, he's driven by gold. But why? Don't touch it. The droids are going to question that? Like, that's kind of weird behaviour. Parents. Somehow all allowed down here. Who gave them the permission to come down here? Happy ending, kind of. I mean, Jod's still there, but still. Question is Jod his real name? I mean, that sounds like a Jedi name for some reason. Jod Nanawad or whatever. Where's the droid? Did he... Where's all the droids gone? Oh, the droid was there. Never mind. What the fuck? That was so abrupt. How's this going to end? Like, it's either going to end with the barrier being destroyed. Obviously, Jod is going to get beaten. We're going to have to find out who the supervisor... There seems like a lot to happen within 30, 40 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'd say that was a pretty decent penultimate episode. But the thing that worries me now, like I said just at the end there, is it going to feel rushed? Because that's how it always is. Like, they kind of... Like, there's episodes throughout a season in Disney Plus shows where they kind of waste time, and then that makes it so the finale feels a bit rushed because either it doesn't have the right, like, runtime, or it just comes down to all our character development throughout the show. So, for instance, Jod, right? If they defeat Jod without learning his backstory, then I feel like that kind of takes away from his character a little bit. But at the same time, it's like maybe they're doing it on purpose to keep it a mystery. Like, they don't want to tell the audience, like, okay, just guess what his backstory is. And that's kind of what they give us. But he knows how to use a lightsaber for the most part. He's got the Force. He's said some Jedi stuff, right? Like, shut off all your emotions, your attachments and all that, right? So, I mean, I was down for some Inquisitor shit. But, obviously, the more character stuff the show gave to us with Jod, then it kind of became obvious that he was a Jedi. However, I mean, I guess the biggest example of him being a Jedi is his name, right? It's a very Jedi name. Jod Nanawad. Now, granted, is it his real name? We don't know. But, to me, that seemed more like a Jedi name. Like, you've got Mace Windu, you've got Plo Koon, you've got Ki-Adi-Mundi. Like, it's a lot of, like, weird names, you know? Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Qui-Gon Jinn. Strange names. Now, granted, it is Star Wars. Star Wars has loads of, like, strange names like that. But Jod Nanawad sounds like a Jedi name to me. It was cool to see, like, the barrier, like, in its full effect. It's weird that it didn't feel like that when we left the planet in episode 1. Was it episode 1 or was it episode 2? Which... No, it was episode 1, right? Like, that... Yeah, because episode 1 ended with them going into hyperspace, yeah. So, it didn't feel like that. Like, the distance from getting through the planet's, like, atmosphere to outside the barrier, it didn't feel like that long in episode 1. And, you know, I was asking questions like, how the fuck did the ship get through it, but they can't get back in? And it's down to the ship itself. But then that begs the question, how did Tak Reynolds get the ship in the first place? Like, did he go to Att Attin? How did he get to Att Attin? How did he take the ship? Where did he get the ship from? You know, I think that adds like another layer of a story there, like maybe like a comic book series or something like that to kind of explore like what happened to Tak Reynolds and how he got onto Att Attin and where he went and how he died and stuff like that. I think that would be an interesting comic run, but we'll see. I still think maybe there's a chance that it could be the supervisor. There's a reason they're not showing the supervisor, and we heard his voice, and he did sound a bit older. However, it could be an automated system, because I did think about that. Like, it could be automated, because there's obviously loads of droids. We never see the supervisor. The droids, when they talk about the supervisor, they say he's above the barrier, which I don't know about that. However, outside of like speculation and like what could happen next episode and all that nonsense, we lost 2 characters this episode. Potentially 2. We lost Brutus, which kind of sucks because I kind of like the way Brutus looked and the way he talked. But he wasn't a very compelling villain. Jod, on the other hand, is, right? Like, the way Jude Law's playing him is pretty good. But I did like Brutus. I like the way he looked. He reminded me of like some like comic bounty hunter. Hopefully, in the future, we get more Brutus. I mean, we saw the end of his story, but there could be more to his story, obviously. He seems old. I don't know how long their lifespan is, you know, for that species, but still. And the other one we lost was Smee, potentially. Because, I mean, he's a droid. Droids can come back from that. Now, granted, it is a lightsaber. Lightsabers are a little bit more difficult to come back from, but I feel like we're going to a planet where like there's mostly droids in charge, right? So I mean, they'll probably fix Smee, hopefully. Maybe give him a new eye. Maybe have a little like area for the mouse to go or whatever. Kind of sucks though because he went out saving the kids. Like he showed a bit of like agency there. Like he became his own being, so to speak. You know, he wasn't taking orders anymore. He was just like, I'm a pirate droid. I'm gonna fucking take agency here, knock out Jod. Surprised he didn't kill him, to be honest. I feel like he should have, but you know, that would have eliminated the problem instantly. They would have got back home. They would have reunited with their parents. The adventure would be over. But now, Jod has got the money. The droids are not questioning him laughing and using a lightsaber. And on top of the fact that, you know, the pirates are over the planet, right, around the barrier. So it's like he has to call them in. I feel like the barrier is going to be destroyed and then the planet's going to be exposed to everyone, hopefully. Because I feel like that'd give it a bit of progression with the story. Like, if the planet just stays hidden, it'd be like, okay, well, what was the point? But if the planet gets uncovered and the barrier is destroyed, because the barrier was, I assume, done to protect the planet from pirates. Maybe, like I said, Tak Vened's. It depends how long Tak Vened has been missing, but it also depends on how old he is. Like, surely there's people on that planet, Att Attin, that are older than Tak Vened, so obviously they must remember like what the planet was like beforehand. Was there a barrier the whole time? Who knows? But they did say it went missing hundreds of years ago, so I guess that doesn't really make sense with Tak Vened like creating the barriers or whatever. Because it obviously wouldn't make sense because he needed the fucking emissary ship to get into the planet anyway. So like, what the fuck am I thinking? I'm off my rockers. The barrier, I think, is going to go down. I think that would make the most sense because then the pirates can get onto the planet and then there could be a bit of chaos. But I don't know if that does anything. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, the barrier's gone down, but like, what's that going to do? I guess the New Republic can fucking find them now, I guess. Like, the planet itself, like, I don't know if the parents know what's been going on outside the planet, but, you know, the kids didn't know about the X-Wings. They still think Alderaan's around. They still think, you know, that they don't know anything about the war and the fall of the Jedi or anything like that, which is kind of weird, right? So you'd assume maybe the parents know, but then they've not shown signs of them knowing, really. Because Republic emissary, there is no Republic anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, there's a New Republic, but they don't do that anymore. They don't go to a Republic mint. I mean, it was cool seeing Wim, hug his dad. Yeah, there was a bit of hesitation from both of them there, but at the end of the day, they both love each other, right? However, I do feel like Wim has the least, like, character development out of all the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, KB had a decent amount last episode. Fern's had a lot throughout the season. And, obviously, you know, Neil had a decent amount in episode, like, 4. But, like, Wim, to me, just seems like he's not developed. I mean, I guess at the end, like, he shows bravery, to be fair. Like, he shoots the lasers, he like, tries to ignite the lightsaber, take on Jod. He tells Jod to leave him alone and stuff like that. Like, it, you know, like, I think Wim's got the bravery down. He needs to back it up. I mean, he's still a kid, but still. You know, like, he's thinking on his feet. Like, he went for the attack, and then that gave them the opportunity for, you know, Smee to knock fucking Jod out. It's cool that Jod got his gear back, like his helmet and stuff, but it's kind of annoying, like, where was it? I thought they would have just thrown it away, but I guess they kept it. Like his silver gear. The thing that's the most annoying about Jod is the fact that he was with the pirates and he never used it to, like, show off his lightsaber or, like, you know, use the Force against them. And he did use the Force after Brutus was captured. Like, he used it to unlock the fucking chains, right? I'm not sure, like, what's going on with him. But I'm going to say he's a Jedi. Or a fallen Jedi, so to speak. Like, maybe he was a Padawan. Like, he learned a bit of the Force. He used the lightsaber a little bit. He learned, like, the code of the Jedi. And then the Purge happened, right? The Purge, the Fall. And he became kind of like Cal. Like Cal Kestis from the Jedi games. And instead of, like, doing what Cal did, he turned to piracy and, you know, being a criminal and a bounty hunter and stuff like that. So, you know, like, it really shows the difference between the characters. Like, Cal still had hope that the Jedi would come back, and wait for the Jedi to come back, and he tried to rebuild his own thing. Obviously, we're not seeing the full Cal story yet because we've got to wait for the next game, but still. But yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, I enjoyed the episode. Like, I'm just more worried about next episode. Like, that's kind of always been my biggest concern about every, like, Star Wars show or Marvel show or anything like that. Anything on Disney+. Because the episodes are either too short, or, you know, there's not a lot that really happens throughout a lot of the episodes, and then the finale comes, and it's just like, well, there's not enough time to wrap up all these stories decently, right? I think a good example of this would be Mandalorian Season 3 for Star Wars, right? Because, like, not a lot really happened throughout the whole season, and then shit started to happen, and then it was over. It was like, oh, alright. And everything felt rushed, like the way they dealt with Moff Gideon, the way they dealt with, like, all that shit. It just happened too quick. You know, it just felt like, to me, they were like, you know what, we need to answer these questions to the storyline, wrap it up. But to be fair, with Mandalorian, I know we're, like, derailing from Skeleton Crew. I think the problem with Mandalorian Season 3 is the fact that they had Grogu and Din reunite in Book of Boba Fett. I think it should have been the opposite. Like, maybe Din goes to see him in Book of Boba Fett or something like that. Like, I feel like Season 3 would have been better if it was just Mando doing his own thing. Like, kind of similar to Season 1, but without Grogu. And then, like, maybe towards the end of Season 3, he reunites with Grogu, and then you have the Grogu and Mandalorian movie. Because, to me, I think, like, the Mandalore arc in Season 3 was kind of boring. Like, it could have been so much better. At the end of the day, we all know why they reunited Mando and Grogu. Because they needed to sell the merch. Which, I think that's such a stupid way to release a product. Like, you base storytelling on merch and not, like, what makes sense for the story. Like, I wonder if the armor of the emissary ship would have, or the Onyx Cinder would have changed anything. And if that was the Onyx Cinder, was it always an emissary ship? I still want to know why they're hiding Tatmanid's face. Like, show us what he looked like. That has to be a reason that they're not doing that. I want to know, like, why the barrier was put into place. Like, that, I think that's the biggest question I have of it. Well, that and, like, Jod's backstory. I have a few questions, but I want to know why the barrier was put into place. Like, I guess just to protect the planet, but from what? The Sith? Because if it's Old Republic, then, I mean, maybe. I mean, they did say hundreds of years ago. When was Old Republic? Old Republic was thousands of years ago, wasn't it? I think it was, right? Like, hundreds of years ago wouldn't have been... It wouldn't have been Old Republic, right? I don't think so. Let me have a look. They said it's been gone for hundreds of years, but... Hundreds of years. Maybe that'd make it High Republic? Or just before the High Republic? So I guess it could, like, be the tail end of the Old Republic, but... like, right at the tail end. Apparently, like, based on what I'm reading, it was 4,000 years ago before the events of Episode 4, so that'd probably put it, based on where we are in the timeline now, maybe, like, 4,010, I'd say? Right? I don't know if it's been, like, 10 years since Episode 4, I'm not 100%, but we'll see. So let's say, you know, it's been 4,010 years since the Old Republic, and then the last, you know, the Old Republic, the game, is set 300 years later than, you know, the initial Old Republic. So, I mean, that would be only 3,700 years ago. So, I mean, I don't know if that timeline matches up there. I don't, like, this. He said it was gone for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, I guess it could be thousands, like, they're just saying hundreds and hundreds for the sake of it. It would have been better if, you know, they just said it dialogue-wise that, you know, Att Attin's been missing for thousands and thousands of years. Like, I think that would have made more sense if it was from the Old Republic time. There has to be more to it. I think there's a bigger mystery there. Like, what's going on with the Secretary? What's going on with the, like, whatever they were doing down there? Because you had that, like, big ball in the middle. Like, what was that? Was it, like, a core for something? Like, maybe the power? Like, it powers, like, the whole world or something like that? Maybe it powers the barriers? I don't know. Like, that core thing was a bit weird. Anyway, I'm interested to see where we go next episode. Jod is full on villain mode right now. Hopefully we learn his backstory, and hopefully the episode and show ends in a decent way. Because I always kind of get annoyed with Disney Plus shows ending a bit rushed. Right? I do wonder if there'll be a season 2. Because, I mean, I think a season 2 for this show could work. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, they could just go off on the emissary ship. go on adventures throughout the galaxy, and then shit just happens. Maybe they could find the Bad Batch, you know, stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I've really enjoyed this show. It all just comes down to how they end it. That's my biggest concern. Because, you know, a show is mostly remembered for how it ends. You know, Game of Thrones, like, people love Game of Thrones, and then, you know, it came to an end with season 8, and then people hated it because it just didn't end well. And then people remembered it for how it ended, and not necessarily for the years it was good. Yeah, that basically sums it all up. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I will see you for the next one. Ta-ta and farewell.